My name is Sherry Roberts, and my husband Ken Roberts is behind the camera where he feels most comfortable. It all started when this very talented group from Uganda, Africa came to our church. And they came with a dream that they would find somebody who could help them put up a recording studio in Uganda, Africa. We were introduced to them, and my husband Ken Roberts, who has a recording studio, was able to help them. In 2004, we went to Kampala. While Ken was in the studio, I decided to take a walk. This walk changed my life forever. As I was walking down the dirt roads, I was passing out candy and balls and having a good time with the children. And then I met two girls that changed my life forever. Their names are Vicky and Lillian. They told me of a story how 3 years prior they had been kidnapped by the rebels in the north of Uganda. Their father was killed in front of them, chopped up into pieces. Their mother was tortured. Their home was burnt. And these two girls at that time, ages 9 and 11, were taken into captivity. They had escaped. They told me they escaped naked in the middle of the night. And they went back and found their mother and a nephew who also had his parents killed by the rebels. When they came to the south, it took them about a week to get to the capital city. When the girls started going to school, now at the ages of 12 and 14, they found that they were ostracized.
As when we go to school, they call us rebels because we come from northern part of Uganda. The children will call me, "You woman from rebels, can you shut up your mouth?" They can beat us using a very big stick like this. They give you on the back. Pa! Pa! So you should not say anything because you're from the northern part of Uganda, and if you have to say anything, they have to take you to the prison and they have to report you.
When I heard the story of these girls and how their teachers had beat them because they were different and they were from the north, my heart broke. As we left Uganda, my heart always ached for these two girls, Vicky and Lillian. 5 months later, we decided we were going to go back and see if we could start making a difference in the lives of some of the people in Uganda. When we arrived, I found Vicky and Lillian again, and I took them to a school to have them tested. And these were big girls. These were girls, they were now 12, 14, and they were 5'5", and they only tested out into the 2nd and 3rd grade. And my heart sank because I couldn't put these girls into a classroom with younger kids and smaller children. And so I got the idea of homeschooling. But I also knew of another Sudanese family that had 3 children that they couldn't afford schooling. So I thought, okay, I'll hire a teacher, I'll have 5 children, and I'll do my good deed and I'll educate these children.
One day, when I was standing at the side of the road, I met Sherry. She came and told me that she came from America and she's here in Uganda. She's looking for a friend. And I told her I want to be your friend and I want you to help me because I have no one to help me. And all the people, our uncles and our aunties, refused us. And when they burned our houses and my dad died, they came and picked everything from us. We remained with nothing. And the rest of the things the rebels took. Now we have nothing, but when Sherry started being our friends, she started giving us everything, food, clothes, and school fees. And I thank her for that, and I thank God for also doing the miracle.
I don't know what happened, but 6 months later, I had 27 students and 3 teachers. It evolved into something that I am now committed to doing in Africa. My husband and I are committed to helping the children of Africa. What started out with 5 children being homeschooled is now we're officially a school, New Creation Center. We have 44 children, grades 1, 2, and 3. We have a staff of 6. They get a hot meal at lunch. Sometimes this may be the only hot meal some of these children are getting. The children receive this education totally free. Their uniforms are free. Everything we do for them is free because these children wouldn't be able to afford to be able to have an education in Uganda because most of them are Sudanese children. Our goal is to continue to build on the school. We have 44 students this year, but each year we want to add more students, add an extra grade, and we're now outgrowing the building that we're at. We're looking to rent or possibly buy another building where we can have a full-on school. When we came back from our first trip and we were telling our friends and our family about what we were doing in Uganda, there was a lot of interest, and people were interested to see what we were doing firsthand and to take a trip with us. On one of our trips when we were in Uganda, we were driving through the town on our bus, We would see children who would be camped out on the street or running up to our bus and putting their hand up and just asking for some food, asking for a little money to buy some food. Our hearts were broken. We thought, what can we do for these children? What can we do that's going to help these children? And first thought, we thought, well, we'll feed them. So we went to the supermarket and we bought loaves of bread and bananas, and we went out to the parking lot where all the kids were. There must have been a group of maybe 60, 70 children. And before we could even open up the loaves of bread, they were clamoring for a piece of white bread. And it just broke us that these children were that hungry that they would step over each other just to get a piece of bread. And it was something, it was a picture that will always stick with both my husband and myself. And that picture of seeing the child with their hand up asking for bread is something that will always be with us. We thought maybe we could come back and maybe we could start a home for these children. We could go along and find the ones that had the most need, the ones that really had no one to take care of them, the children that nobody loved, nobody wanted. So 6 months later, we were back again in Uganda, and the birth of an orphanage. We call it New Creation Family Home. We don't use the term orphanage because it's truly a home for children, where we have orphans, where we have children who have been who do not have parents who care for them. These children are loved and cared for in a home setting. We have a wonderful staff. These children are taught good manners. They're taught the love of Jesus. They're taught to be good citizens, and they're educated. And we're going to continually grow on that. When it's asked of the children, what do you like best about New Creation Family Home? One little girl responded, we sleep like queens and kings. And another one would say, we love the bathrooms because they have the indoor toilets. They have indoor plumbing. These kids are not used to anything like this. And so we try to make a home that's not only comfortable and loving, but also beautiful for them. We started with 8 children, 4 boys, 4 girls. And we've just added 3 more children. We have 11. We have beds for 15. Once we outgrow that, that's when we're going to seriously look at putting up a village-type setting. Our vision for a New Creation Family Home is to someday buy property and to on that property build cluster homes. These cluster homes would be made up of 8 children and then a mother. And then each home would be in a setting like a village setting. And on this village setting, we'd like to have a school and would love to have a medical clinic. We don't want to be exclusive, so what we want to do is in this setting, we'd like to have the school and the medical center opened up to the community. We'd like to be able to help those in the surrounding area that need the help with education or that need the help with medical needs. Someone once had asked me, well, how do you know what to do when you're in Uganda? I said, all you have to do is open up your eyes and look. There are needs everywhere, from education to feeding children to giving them a home to medical. What we do is we are open to whatever comes our way. We saw a need at a village that was outside of the town. It's called Jokalera, where the entire middle generation had been wiped out from the parents died of AIDS. And what they have is elderly people, elderly grandparents raising these young children. They were asked us if we could help them with school fees. And we knew that we couldn't continually keep giving out school fees, so what we decided to do was to help them with some animals. We bought goats and pigs, and what they're doing is they're raising these animals, and with the offspring and with the milk from the goat, they're able to be self-sufficient, which not only gives them the money that they need for the education of the children, but it gives them a pride in what they're doing. We also have started doing medical clinics. We heard that there was a need for deworming the children and the adults. And so we repeat the same medical clinic in the same site every 6 months. We have to go back, we buy a pill. The pill costs like 5 cents. And with that pill, these children are protected now from the worms that could infest their bodies. We started doing the deworming clinics, and then we found we had local doctors who would come along and assist us. So now we're buying the antibiotics and the much needed medicine. So we take doctors in with us and nurses and other medical professionals that come on our teams with us, and we all go in together and we set up a full-on medical clinic, and that we go into the slums, we go into the poorest of the villages, and we treat the people. And while we're treating the people, we also have stories from the Bible. We do crafts, we do skits, we do sports. We bring in jump ropes and soccer balls, and the kids have a great time. We did something completely different on this last trip. We had a retired barber who wanted to come in and just cut hair, and the children there love their hair short. So we went out, bought a generator, came in, and he set up shop, and he just for hours each day would cut hair of the children. And it meant so much to these children that they felt like they felt good about themselves. They loved having their hair cut, and they were just feeling good. And it was just something that not only helped the children, but it really made this man feel special that he was able to give this one gift that he had. The interest in what we're doing in Uganda continues to build. Through our website, we've gotten many people from all over the world to go with us. We've gotten them as far away as Australia, and they go in and they work with us through the orphanages, through the clinics, through our schools, through the babies' orphanages, and the work just continues to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. We call our ministry Loving One by One. Loving and helping those in need isn't determined by one's financial status. Everyone can do something to help another human being, whether here in the States or in a faraway country. What binds you and I together is the heart to make a difference in one person's life. It matters to that one we are able to educate, feed, give a home, or treat with medicine. One by one, we are making a difference in the lives of the children in Uganda, Africa.